Hmm. All right. Welcome to the state of the franchise for the Packers. Welcome, Will. All right, let's get down to this. So I'm gonna look at your draft picks first. You've got you've got enough draft picks, mid rounders, that you can build the team through that this season, whatever you need, depth wise. So, as always, the quarterback is the most important player on the team, and you've got Aaron Rodgers, and God, his penalty is a lot. Woof. He signed for 4 more seasons, but you've also got Jordan Love, and I think that you have to seriously consider going to Love after this season. Um, it's just that contract is rough. I would not want to be in your shoes, Will. I'm sorry that you have 46 million dollar penalty is nothing to. That's rough. But so then you've got Aaron Jones that I know will put on the trading block. I would I would keep him around, but I understand why you wouldn't, because you have Williams and Dillon. Dillon could be the future of this team. If he gets enough carries, I could see Dillon being a guy who gets star dev, Um, Jones is probably going to want top running back money, and he definitely isn't uh, a top running back. He's a good running back. He's a great running back, but he's not an Elliott, McCaffrey, a Saquon. So, but regardless, you're set because Williams isn't going to want a lot of money, and you can bring Dillon back even if you don't bring Jones back. Wide receiver, set. You've got Devontae Adams, Devontae Parker, Preston Williams, and MVS all under contract for a few seasons. So you don't have any worries at wide receiver. You have one of the stronger wide receiver cores. Even going down the depth, Tavon Austin, you know, you can work with this. Preston Williams is great, a great third receiver. I know that he's had a lot of drops for you, so yeah. He's not having a great season, but you've got a great core there. You're gonna have to look at tight ends. Mercedes Lewis is old and slow. You could go with Sternberger. I would rather, again, like I said with the Cardinals, I would rather find a guy who can pressure the seams with your team, because you've got the receivers that a great tight end could explode for you. You've got Bakhtiari, stud. Elgton Jenkins, stud. Corey Linsley, whatever. He's fine. He's going to regress, so you can look in the draft to find his replacement because Jake Hansen isn't it. Ricky Wagner, again, another guy who's going to regress, but I think he's under contract for a couple more seasons. You're not going to do terrible if you keep him around for this season and next season and then look for it after that. Linsley, I think, is going to want a contract this season. Yeah, so Linsley would be a guy who I would be looking to replace. Ron Swanson, you're not going to go wrong with Ron Swanson. He eats bacon. He wants all the bacon. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I said, bring me a lot of bacon. No, I want all of it. So yeah, you're good at right tackle. Swanson will be fine. Your bookends are great. Dean Lowry, Morgan Fox, they're just guys. Nothing special. Whatever. They'll get the job done. K1 Short, stud. You're good at the ends. Short is older though, so you have to start looking, and he's only under contract for 2 seasons, and 14 mil next season is a lot if he regresses into the low 80s. But again, you don't have early picks, so you're gonna have to probably ride it out with him for another season. Kenny Clark, he's great. You don't have to worry about moving on from Kenny anytime soon. You've got him for 5 seasons, but that increase from 7 to 20 is rough. That's a lot of money to pay a defensive tackle, especially one that doesn't really 5 sacks. Okay, never mind. He's doing much better, but I mean, that's still a lot of money to pay a D tackle who's not named Aaron Donald, but I think he's worth it because he holds the middle of your defense together. Zadarius Smith, stud. You don't have to worry about your outside linebacker. You've got Williamson and Lee. You're good for now. You're fine for now. Williamson's wants a contract, so you do need to start looking at the future. This is a position where maybe I take a shot on somebody in the 4th or 5th round and hope that they can develop. Rashawn Gary, like, your bookends at the 3-4 are great. You've got 2 superstars. You can't go wrong there. And then you've got depth with Tim Williams, who's decent. Corners, you got Xavier Howard, who's under contract for 4 seasons or 5 seasons, maybe even. You think I would remember he was my player, but yeah, 5 seasons. But again, that's an $11.6 million increase. That's a lot, especially when Alexander is going to want to get paid in a couple years. So, but you've got 5 corners who can all play, and your 3, nickel and dime and, your sub corner are all good enough that they could start for some teams. So nothing wrong here. Darnell Savage, fast, and he's young, so you can keep working on him. I don't know if he has he's got star dev, so you're set there. And Adrian Amos, you've got another team with a great secondary like Cody and Roy. This team is another one that will win in all in on this season. He's trying to win. He's got, the multiple 4th and 5th rounders and then a 6th and a 7th, but it's not about the draft this year for Will. It is all about winning this season. And to do that, Aaron Rodgers has to be a lot better than he has been. You can't go in to the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers throwing more interceptions than touchdowns. Roy's scheme either has to change or something, because this isn't going to dev your players, and this isn't going to win playoff games. You're gonna run into the Niners. You're gonna run into the Cardinals. If you somehow made it to the Super Bowl, you're gonna run into the Patriots. I don't know what scheme Will is running, but he needs to figure it out. He's got a great team. This is another team that I would say on paper is better than Cody's team, but it's not going to beat Cody's team in a game. Not with Aaron Rodgers throwing like that, but there's time for Will to fix it. But so if anybody has any questions, go ahead and throw them in. I didn't. Why is he a bad GM, Sam? He's built a great team. Is it like, I think he's done a good job? Yes, I I would prefer to have the picks, but you know, Will also came into a situation where winning now was the right choice. Will didn't have a choice. Well, the scheme, that's tough. The scheme it's hard. Yeah, and if Will found it, we'll see. Looking at Will's schedule, who he's got coming up, I don't know if he has any tests coming up. Twinkie was a test. Twinkie was definitely a test. Twinkie has a good team, and Niners are a test. Colts have a good team. Eagles are a test. But realistically, Will doesn't have a lot of tests going into the playoffs, so he's gonna have to see, because neither of these guys have good enough corners. They don't have good enough corners. The Bears have a decent secondary, but Will is going to have to see that this works against lower competition in the secondary for Aaron Rodgers, because going into the playoffs, he's going to have to get through Roy and Chris at least, and Jim. Jim's team 4-2, and I forgot about the Seahawks too, so we'll see. But so yeah, I think it's time for Twinkie to go ahead and spin that wheel, or God damn it, Will to spin that wheel, not Twinkie. But so we will